Hello everyone, this is Caroline Jensen, and today I'm going to show you a new feature that is an Alien Skin Exposure 4, which I think is pretty amazing, and in my opinion it is worth the upgrade if you have Exposure X3 or X2. Alright, so what I have here is just an image of a poppy taken at on a neighbor's lawn. Nothing super exciting. What I've done is white balanced and I cropped it in a little bit, and the only thing that I'm going to do in Lightroom is add a little bit of a vignette. So I have the radial filter here activated with some negative exposure and a little bit of negative dehaze. I'm going to put that on this image here right over my main subject, which is this beautiful poppy. And what it does is it softly darkens the edges just fine there. All right, now let's bring it over to Exposure X4. So I'm going to leave the settings as they default and head over there. It's going to prepare another file, of course, and bring it over here. So it's new, so it gives you this splash screen. All right, so my workflow over in Alien Skin is very simple. I do the majority of my editing in Lightroom, so I don't really do much over here. But I'm going to grab my favorite preset, which is Kodachrome Old. Yeah, Kodachrome Old. I had to think there for a second. 35mm old. And in this case, I might lower the opacity a little bit. My options are twofold. I could either lower the opacity or I could use the masking tool to take it off of a certain area, but I like the color toning and I don't want to lose that. So I think I'm just going to lower the opacity just a little bit. And then I'm going to go into the basic panel that they have over here, very similar to the basic panel in Lightroom. And I'm going to up the highlights just a little bit because I want this flower to pop a little bit more. Now that's all I'm going to do there. So the part that I wanted to show you today, which is new in Alien Skin Exposure X4, is the overlay panel here. If you go down to Light Effect and click that on, it is going to put the first effect that is available on your image. So what you want to do is click on the box and it's going to open up a menu. I go down to Sun Flare, and this is where the fun begins. In previous versions, you were not able to move the sun flare around. I'm excited about this because I think it's a very popular trend right now that you can capitalize on with a lot more simplicity by using this program. As these are real sun flares, that's a kind of a thing that's happening at the moment. I don't know how long the trend will last, but if you want to play with it, here it is. All right, so what you can do is grab a sun flare, and then you can literally move it around wherever you want on your image. And then you can go down here and either zoom it in, make it larger, or you can zoom it back and make it smaller. And then you can adjust the opacity. So you can take it from being very vibrant to being more muted. Let me see here. The one thing you might want to double check though is I noticed there were some splotches here, and that is because texture was enabled. The preset that I chose had a default texture added. So if you see something funny going on, double check the texture tab here. But back up to the light effect. So this one would be a possibility. This is more of a clear, bright white one. This is very, very bright, but you could take the opacity down. And here's the thing. Some people love to do this only when there's natural light that's coming through trees or coming through over the top of buildings or coming around a car or between people's faces. I think it's most believable in that way. But a lot of people like to put it into images on an overcast day to add dimension. So the choice is yours. But a little tip is to just make sure that the intensity of the light that you're adding fits the scene. It looks pasted in. Number one, if it's from the wrong direction, do a light check. You know, walk around your hand, the palm of your hand, to see exactly where the sun is coming from, what direction it's coming from during, you know, if it's a cloudy day. That way, you'll know that you can place your light in a better spot. Or two, you can amplify the light that's already there, where if you can see the sun. You can change the color of the flare, add more artistic flair, and that is probably the most believable situation to use this in. But there are a lot of ones to pick from. Some of them can be very creative and they're fun for other things other than mimicking sunlight. They can mimic things like rain, fog. There's a lot of interesting options that you can play with here. And again, they're all customizable because you can change the zoom, how far they go out, how far they come back, and the opacity. So if I wanted this one here, which is a light effect that's very hazy, I could lower the opacity on it and it can give almost a washed out matte effect using this particular light overlay. So there's a lot of fun things here. Me personally, I don't use a whole lot of presets on this program. There's about 5 that are my go-tos, but this is a new fun thing to explore. So I am excited to share that with you. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.